in a place far beyond our universe. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the wicked lands of Neverwinter. Some men speak of legends that lie in these lands, and of many there is one, Pimp Daddy Pally, who will be joining us today in another Neverwinter adventure. I wanted to bring him back and include him in a lot more of these videos, you guys. So we're going to include him in today's video. He's running it with us today, helped me make a video. So now, if you are unaware of who Pimp Daddy Pally is, if you roam in the lands of Neverwinter, you'll know that many ally in this land that are veterans and absolute OGs for this game. This was one of them, one of the most powerful paladins that allied in the lands of Neverwinter that I came across in a very long time. He could shield mountains from meteors and volcanoes. He could erupt from his own hands. My guy. Listen, guys, I'm serious. Also, see that little wizard guy in the red right there on the left? He said that was 1.2 million astral diamonds and he bought it for me. Guys, I can't emphasize how cool this dude is. Let's get on with the video. But before I started this video, there's a few things I wanted to say. The origin story of where I met Pimp Daddy Pally. I met him while randomly traveling through Spinward Rise a couple weeks ago, and he tracked me down through a Twitch stream and found me in Spinward Rise, and that's how we met. And I met a new friend when I came back to this game, and I didn't expect that. He sets a very good example for what does still remain on this game as entailed to what the player base is like. He's a very beautiful person, so I'd like people to really, instead of paying more attention to what, this video, I want everybody to kind of shout him out in the comment section, give him a lot of love. He's been in these lands for a long time, and I think he really does deserve that, that respect and love. And so I want everybody to give that to him if they can, because this guy is seriously awesome. He's helped me in a lot of ways through Neverwinter as well, man. Like, significantly changed a lot of, how my gameplay is, and he has really helped us out. So he's a part of this adventure, and I really feel like he is like a crucial standing point for when I've returned to this game. And it's also a new memory that I have, now to look back on. So that's another thing on why I think it's so important that I came across him and we met on this game. And so anyways, you guys, let's continue.
Conform and obey.
So we as two tanks admitted ourselves into the slaughterhouse, and as we did, began the first round of this evil place. Would not be a challenge because we were two tanks being able to hold down against a lot of DPS, so that was kind of our challenge to see if we had what it took to make it at least over round 10. So you'll see if we do. But this first round was already super easy. We tried to remain combat advantage on every little guy that was possible, just to kind of increase that damage every little bit. So you really would be surprised how much of a difference that actually makes for you when you are doing the slaughterhouse. Remain combat advantage, work with your teammate. If you're trying to come in here and do a challenge like this, really got to pay attention to what's going on in the slaughterhouse. So me and him really had to lock in and absolutely try our best to work with each other throughout the slaughterhouse, so this would be a lot easier for the both of us. I switched my ultimate because I knew switching that definitively would help do a lot of damage to these guys in the long run. So I was like, I'm going to go ahead and change this ultimate real quick. I'll keep heroism just in case I need a quick heal or something that's going to save me if I can't, use my stone of health when that cooldown's going on. So that was kind of my plan during the slaughterhouse. I did have other abilities as well that would keep me safe and reduce my damage. So I had a lot of, damage stuff that would help keep me safe. I don't do damage, not damage stuff. Damage mitigation stuff, yeah. But came the first boss fight, and you would be able to tell that this isn't going to be a challenge for us on the first few rounds. We will be able to tank pretty much everything on these first few rounds if we get lucky with what we're fighting. Like I said before, sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's hard when you go to the slaughterhouse. You can tell right away we're doing decent damage. I try to remain combat advantage on these guys at all times. I stay behind them while Pimp Daddy Pally sits in the front, takes all the damage while I beat the shit out of these evil things. Whatever the slaughterhouse sends at us, we're just gonna call them evil things. And remember, we are two tanks. Our natural abilities do not really inquire on doing DPS, so that's why we're trying to remain combat advantage. We need to get all that damage in as much as we can so that we can get these fights out the way and move on to the next round, of course. But we literally obliterate that contender, and on came the next contender. The new wave of enemies was about to come, and soon it started and began the second round. And this, of course, would not be a challenge either, you guys. You think anything that lands of Neverwinter sends at Pimp Daddy Pally and stars that it'll make any sort of a difference? No. Quick little fun fact, his name actually came from when one of his friends saw him wearing his goofy little hat and was like, "You look like a Pimp Daddy." And that's where his name came from, Pimp Daddy Pally. Another fun fact, the slaughterhouse was actually closing on December 10th. I didn't know that. Pimp Daddy Pally actually told me that, and I was like, what? Why? Whatever, dude. Like, thanks, Neverwinter. Not like I enjoy the slaughterhouse or anything. And, yes. Sarcasm. My favorite beverage to drink on a Sunday morning. Especially, it's not Sunday though, so I don't know why I'm saying that. But second boss fight came, you can see we literally chopped through this guy's health. And this is one of the easier bosses in the slaughterhouse, so we were given a very easy hand when we came in here. Me personally, I had never versed this boss in the slaughterhouse, so I was a little nervous at first. But then once we actually versed him, you could tell neither me or Pimp Daddy we are literally losing no health. Combat advantage. His health is going down significantly. You know, very good damage for just us being two tanks. I think it's very good. And if you come in here as a DPS, obviously you're going to chop through this way faster than us. But, you know, if you come in here as two tanks, I think it's a lot of fun, and it's really a challenge. I want to see, I might come in here with the DPS and see what I can actually do in the slaughterhouse instead of, you know, using a tank. But it might be a little harder because my DPS is not that strong. I think, honestly, that would make playing with Pimp Daddy like 10 times easier. He can tank, I can put in the DPS. I honestly might start working on my my rogue a little bit more that I used to play on like crazy, you know, 10 years ago. And the reason I don't really play on him as much is because, you know, when I got back on the game and I saw that I had to like pretty much restart my whole rogue, that didn't make me very happy. So I just went along and made a new character when I did return to Neverwinter, and I made the Paladin. But I'm thinking I might want to go back on my rogue and make some videos about some DPS things. Be fun. Moving into round 3 and straight to the boss fight we'll go to. And this is when things started to get a little more difficult. These bosses were starting to do a little bit more damage. You can see I'm starting to lose health now. Even near the end, I remember saying, oh, this is super easy while I was in a party with him, and then I started like losing health near the end, and I was like, okay, this is going to start to get a little harder now, even after just round 3. But we moved straight into round 4, facing the next boss. And again, these bosses were getting super tanky, meaning these fights were going to take us a while, so we really had to remain combat advantage if we wanted this to go by faster. Moved into round 5, came the next boss, and again, just super tanky. This one wasn't too difficult. We just had to really lock in and take his health down as quickly as we could so we wouldn't take as long. Because you got to get combat advantage. Oh, you'll save a lot of time, I promise you guys. But finishing round 5 and moving on to round 6, the boss fight of round 6. And this one wasn't very a challenge. Later on, things would really start to amp up though. And really, I think when you're in the slaughterhouse, sometimes those waves of enemies before you fight the boss can be actually harder than the boss because they just throw down so much damage. So really got to be careful when you're in the slaughterhouse. We vanquished this guy, though, and go straight into round 7. Easily slain another thing that emits evil presence within the land of Neverwinter. We are doing Digilant today by purging evil throughout these lands, or within the lands, whichever you say. Round 7 came, the Velociraptor, yeah, pretty annoying, but got him out of the way pretty quickly. I wanted to tame him, but this is an Ark survival, and he wasn't very friendly, so we got him out of the way. Round 8 came. This wave of enemies, right here, this is what I mean. I thought I could tank this AoE and thought I was going to be good. My health gets obliterated. I am instantly dead just like that. Gotta avoid those AoE guys. It doesn't matter if you think you can take it, get out of the way. Which sometimes I just don't do. But we went back in and ended up making it all the way to round 12. We had to get through quite a few harder bosses. This time around it was just way harder than our first time. So it took us a lot longer this second time around. But we made it past our goal. And plus it was way harder than the first time around. So this was a huge win for me. Also, look how close I am to some of this stuff, bro. 898. Like, we getting something from this shop. Y'all not going to stop me from getting something from the slaughterhouse. So, you dude, on the edge of some of this stuff. Just got to do a few, literally get on, do a few of these daily missions, and then I win. So, I failed the first time around, but we went back in a second time, and it was even more of a win to me that we made it as long as we did throughout the second round. You know, it was just 10 times harder. The bosses were way more difficult than, you know, the first time around when we went in there, and then I got perished by, you know, standing in an AoE. So if you see an AoE, you know, sometimes it's fine to not get out of the way, but some other times like that predicament, yeah, you'll get obliterated and disintegrated into a million pieces, and you'll be a pile of ash on the ground that'll be blown away by the wind. So be very careful when you're in the slaughterhouse. And remember, guys, this is only here till December 10th, which kind of upsets me. I didn't figure that out until Pimp Daddy Pally told me, like I said in the video earlier. Not really too sure why they're taking away, but if you're a returning player and you want to catch up, go straight to the slaughterhouse. Find a group, queue up, go. Get that stuff done, get the currency. You're going to need it because it's going to be gone December 10th, and you're not going to have forever to catch up, which, you know, a lot of that armor is super high level, so it's really going to bump you all the way up to like 80,000. So you really need that before this event is over, just so you're good to go. But anyways, you guys, the new update is coming in 4 days. I hope you all are ready for the evil to return in these lands. And that is it. You'll see Pimp Daddy Pally in another video in the future. So leave a like and a subscribe, drop a comment for Pimp Daddy Pally, and I'll see you guys next time in the evil lands of Neverwinter. Peace out.